Hello researchers, how are you? I hope you are fine and doing well. In this video, I will be giving you detailed demonstration regarding how to deploy and install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 on VirtualBox. Now before we go with the installation, let me first of all tell you that the VirtualBox will provide you the same experience as you can deploy Red Hat Linux on a standalone system. So every option will be there and it is much advanced to learn and listen to this, you can say, demonstration as compared to VMware, because the VMware doesn't give you all that options which is provided by VirtualBox. So before we proceed with the deployment and installation of Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 on VirtualBox, let us first of all know something about Red Hat. Now Red Hat is known as a distribution for Linux, like we have Fedora, like we have OpenSUSE, we have Ubuntu, and it is yet regarded as the most powerful distribution as compared to any other distribution. Because why? It is refined, it is having well updated, and secondly it is totally, you can say, not very much free, because you have to make your account on Red Hat and then you have to download it, because they are only providing you 30-day subscription. So because it is somewhat refined by the company, by Red Hat, so you have to pay them some money in order to enjoy the distribution. And secondly, they are also providing you live customer support center also. So you can find in this website, you can say redhat.com, all the technology, service, support, etc. And this is the main official website of Red Hat. If you want to download Red Hat distribution, you can go to this link that is called access.redhat.com/downloads. You can go over there, that is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Click on this link that is called Start Evaluation. And now you can see that the try Red Hat Linux for free, but it is basically for evaluation, and you can find that the evaluation is only for 30 days. You can click on continue. And now you have to register over there. If you don't have, you can say, your ID, password, etc., you can click over here as a register. And you can just register, and after that you can download. So I've already registered over there and I have already downloaded this distribution. If I right click over here and click on properties, you can find it is about 3.46 GB of distribution. So let us go to VMware Workstation, you can say VirtualBox, which is a software which we are going to use, and let us fire up the installation. So let us minimize this all, and now here is the software. So let us make, you can say, the virtual machine, and then we can fire up the installation. So click on this link that is called new, and let us write the name Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So click on next. Here it is demanding the RAM, so I'm having 8 GB of RAM in my system, so there is no problem for me to allocate this distribution 2 GB, so we can type 2048. It is about 2 GB of RAM. Click on next, and now let us go for this create a virtual hard disk. Now it has given you that the recommended size is 8 GB. We are going to increase it to 15 or even to 20 GB. You can even increase to 80 GB. So depending on the flexibility of hard disk, whatever you want to give, you can give it to that. So let us click on this word create, and let us have this distribution that is called VirtualBox disk image. You can even make this virtual machine disk. You can even make parallel hard disk, so whatever it is required, but we will use only VirtualBox disk image. So click on next. So click on this next call, no need to worry about the dynamically allocated. So click next, and now we have to fire this installation. So we can say, you can write down the machine that is Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6. So let us browse this, and let us go to our E drive. Let me create a new folder, that is any folder that is called VM, and over here I can save it. So click create. So 8 GB RAM, you can even modify it. So let us go to the settings. So you can say storage is there. So you can find that there is a 8 GB. You can even increase this. You can have another thing. If you can find over here controller, so click over here. You can browse this image file. So we don't need to have any networks. We need NAT, etc. for that. So general is okay. So let us click OK. So let us click on this word called start. So now in a few time we can see that the installation will fire up. So let us view and full screen. So let us, you can find there are different options: install or upgrade, install system will basic video driver, rescue install system, boot from local drive, or memory test. But we are going to install Red Hat Linux for the first time. So let us go with the first, you can say, link only, that is install or upgrade an existing system. So let us select that and press enter. So Linux has started booting up. It is loading the VM Linux, and soon we will find Anaconda. It is the installer for Linux. and we will be manually partitioning the hard disk. So it is detecting the hardware. So this is the first step of our installation, in which it is saying that to begin testing the media before, let us check the installation. So there is no need to check, so we can tab on skip and we can press enter. So it will fire up the Anaconda now. We will be starting the installation. So it has found out the local installation media. Yes, you can see that the version has started. And now I have got the first screen of the Red Hat Enterprise Linux. You can find it is a copyright of 2003 to 2010 of Red Hat Incorporation. All rights are reserved. So let us click on this link called Next. So over here you have to choose the language, because Linux is multilingual. It is not only providing you English, it is also providing you Hindi, Gujarati, and even Chinese also, so even Bengali. So lots of Indian languages are there, but we are comfortable in English, so let the English get checked only. We need to make no change over here. So click on Next. After that, it has to get the appropriate keyboard. So we are using the standard laptop, so US English is okay for us. So click on Next. Now this is the main step. You can find what type of devices will your installation involve. So basic storage devices or the specialized storage devices, because we are not using any storage area network or server base. So our basic storage devices, which means with the 8 GB which we have allocated during our machine creation, we will be using that. So let the basic storage devices will be clicked on. So let us click on Next. So now you can see that the storage device may below some contain data. So we can say that as we are going to use the entire hard disk, so we can say yes, discard my data. So over here, this is called the host name. Like we have the anandaya.com or yahoo.com. So you can make your own host name, but right now we can change it later on. So let us remain the default, that is localhost.local domain. So let us click on Next. So here we have to configure the time zone, as I'm living in India. So I click on this Kolkata, Asia. So let us go for Next. So here we are demanding with the root password. So let me give the password. So click Next. So it is demanding that the password should be at least 6 character long. So let me change the password for you. So the password is like a weak password, so ignore this. So use anyway. So now you can find which type of installation would you like to use. So here we have to use all the space, which means replace existing system, shrink existing system, use free space, or create the custom layout. So it is better to click on this option that is called create custom layout, so that we can manually partition like we have in Windows, C drive, D drive, E drive. So we will be considering the partitions. So click on Next. So now you can find that it has detected our 8 GB of hard disk. So let us select this and first of all create the partitions. Now listen very carefully what partitions are to be created. So let us first of all create the first partition. Click on the word create, and now click on this partition that is called standard partition and click on create. So now the first partition which we have to create is to not to have any mount point. We have to first of all create the swap partition. So let us change this to swap, and now we have to give the size that is twice the size of the RAM. So as you can know that I have already allocated 2 GB of RAM, so the swap size would be into 2, so the swap size would be 4096. 4096. So let us click OK, and now it is having free, that is 4095. So let us create. Now we have to create the boot partition. So let us create, and we can write down the /boot, and now the size could be, that is about 100. So 100 would be okay for us. And the less free, we can go with the create. Let us go with again standard partition create, and let us go with the / and let us give this partition as 3900. So let us create it. So this is all the partition about. So if you have increased the size of the RAM, so if you can increase the size of your hard disk, you can find more data over here. So let us Next. So the following has been selected. So let us format it, and now write changes to the disk. So it is creating all the ext4 partitions, and now you can say that the bootloader has already been detected. So let us click on the word called Next. So Now there is another step called, if you have installed the basic server, you will not find any graphical interface. So it is better that we have to install the Genome desktop. So let us click on this word called desktop. And now you can even customize later. You can even customize it now. It is better that we can customize it later. So you can click on the word called next. So it is checking the dependencies. What is meant by dependency? In order to install one package, we have to install some other packages. So that is called a dependency. So it is now, you can say that it is starting the installation process. So now you have seen that the packages have started installing. So in a matter of just 10 to 15 minutes, we will be getting the full installation done. So we will be first of all pausing the video till that, and after that we'll return with the post installation steps. So let us pause the video. So now you have seen that almost we can say that it has finished the installation, and after all the packages installation, we will see what will happen next. We have to reboot the system, I think so. So almost we have installed 1110 packages as a server with basic desktop. And even you can install more when we will configure more things in Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So it is taking some time. And very soon we will be proceeding with the post installation of Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6. So Linux is a very heavy operating system, I think so, that it is setting up everything, and we have to wait. Now it is called installing the bootloader, and it is installing post installation steps. So grub is the bootloader that is called another important bootloader. So now you have seen that the installation of Red Hat Enterprise Linux is complete, and now we have to click on this word that is called reboot. So let us reboot. So now let us press OK and press OK. So let us view and full screen mode. So now you can see that the Linux has started booting up, and now we will be greeted with the post installation steps. So there are just minor steps, and after that we will be starting with the GUI interface of Red Hat Enterprise Linux Server 6.4. So it is booting. So this is the welcome screen, and now we have basically installed almost 80% of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So let us click on this word called forward. So this is the license agreement, so you can read it, otherwise there is no use of reading it. So click on forward. So these are for the software updates. I have already told you that Red Hat Linux is somewhat a paid Linux, so you have to connect to Red Hat Enterprise Linux Server. So you have to just log in into it. So we can skip it because we don't require it. And now we can set up a username over here. So if you want to set up, it is okay. Otherwise, I just give my name as one user and click on forward. So click on yes. So the user has been created, and now we have to set up the date and time. So the date and time is okay. So we can just click on forward. So over here we have the kdump. So there is no need for any kdump, etc. So let us click on this word called finish. So kdump requires settings, so ignore this. So let us click yes, and now click OK. So it will be booting up again, and after the boot we will be greeted up with the final GUI version of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So now the system has been rebooting. So it will take some about 30 to 40 seconds more. Depending on your speed of processor and RAM, Linux is taking a good mark over here. So I think so that the welcome screen will be there. Yes, the welcome screen has come. So you can log in into with my account, or you can click on other and you can give the username root. And now we have to provide the password which we have provided during installation. So here's the password. So let us click on the word called login. And now Linux has giving us the installation. So click close. So this is the interface. So now you have seen that it has booted. So let us right click on the terminal, and now you can see root at the rate localhost. So if we click on ls, so there is nothing over here. So let us clear and let us give it this ls. So now you can find all the files over here. So in this video I have demonstrated how to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So do give it a shot, and I hope you enjoyed this video.